They don't always show it, but they feel it. The second you enter the room, eyes shift, atmosphere tightens, conversations lose rhythm. It's not coincidence. It's your aura. Your presence speaks before you do, and everything around you, even spirits, react to it. You're not just noticed, you're sensed. On a soul level, on a spiritual frequency most people don't even know they're tuned into. But their spirits know. Their spirits recognize you. Some feel peace around you, others feel pressure. Some are drawn to you like a lifeline. Others can't get away fast enough. But none of them are indifferent. Because when you walk in, your aura exposes what's hidden. It doesn't matter how much someone smiles, how polite they pretend to be. Their energy reveals the truth, and your spirit picks up on it before they say a word. That's the weight of being chosen. You don't just live in the physical, you walk between realms. And the unseen world responds to your vibration, whether you ask it to or not. You've probably felt it your whole life without having the words for it. That strange discomfort around certain people, that inexplicable peace with others, that heaviness in some rooms and lightness in others. It wasn't imagination. It was discernment. Your spirit was reading what your eyes couldn't see yet. Now, as you've awakened, that gift is stronger, sharper, louder. You don't just hear what people say. You hear what they don't say. You don't just see who people are. You feel what they carry. Because your aura doesn't just reflect you. It reveals them. That's why people get nervous around you, even if they don't know why. That's why some folks get defensive without reason. Because the light in you disturbs the spirits hiding in them. You didn't even have to speak. Your presence exposed everything false, everything manipulative, everything unclean. You walk into a room, and their shadows get nervous. That's how powerful your aura is. And you weren't trained for this by humans. You were trained by God. You've been broken, humbled, refined, and rebuilt, not to fit in, but to pierce through layers of illusion most people still live behind. You see too much, you feel too much, and whether people are conscious of it or not, they feel seen when you're near. And for some, that feels like love, but for others, it feels like a threat. Because when you've lived too long pretending, being seen feels like danger. And you carry spiritual X-ray vision. Your aura peels back the mask. Your peace provokes the anxious. Your clarity confuses the manipulative. And your elevation triggers every spirit that still wants to keep others trapped. You're not just a person anymore. You're a spiritual alarm. You wake people up. You shake things loose. You break strongholds. And some spirits hate that. But don't let that make you shrink. Don't let the reactions intimidate you. If spirits react to your presence, it's because your presence has power. If the room feels tense when you speak truth, it's because your voice is anointed. If some people distance themselves after meeting you, it's because your energy disrupted their comfort. Chosen one, this is not a burden, it's confirmation. You are not imagining it. The shift is real. The tension is real. The stares, the silence, the sudden change in mood when you enter. That's all spiritual activity responding to you. It's what happens when a divine presence walks among the sleeping. It's what happens when someone truly aligned with purpose moves through the world. You might think, I didn't ask for this, but your soul did. Long before this lifetime, long before this moment, you were marked. And that mark doesn't just attract light, it attracts resistance, because anything powerful attracts pressure. And you, chosen one, are spiritually loaded. That's why you can't tolerate certain environments anymore. That's why certain friendships feel heavy now. That's why meaningless conversation feels unbearable, because your aura is expanding. And with every expansion, false energy gets squeezed out. Even without trying, you cleanse the space you walk into. Even without knowing, you elevate people simply by being around them. That's why they keep coming to you for advice. That's why strangers open up to you. That's why people who seem fine suddenly get emotional when they speak to you. It's not random. It's your spiritual presence. It's what happens when someone carries divine energy in a human body. You're walking proof that the soul is real. And the darker energies, they don't want you to know that. That's why they try to distract you, try to confuse you, try to isolate you. Because if you ever fully understood how powerful your aura is, the game would be over. But guess what? You're starting to remember. You're beginning to see through the illusions. You're noticing that you can shift a room just by choosing peace. That your silence can convict. That your presence can purify. Not because you're trying to do anything, but because you are aligned. You carry light that cannot be explained. Wisdom that wasn't taught by textbooks. Discernment that came from pain and prayer. You've been forged through the unseen. And now everything in the unseen sees you. Even spirits. Especially spirits. Some will flee. Some will fight. Some will try to attach themselves. But all will feel you. Because your aura is not just energy. It's evidence. Evidence that God still places light in human vessels. Evidence that spiritual power is real. Evidence that the chosen are walking, breathing reminders of what heaven looks like when it touches earth. You don't need approval. You don't need applause. Your energy already speaks. And the more you embrace who you are, the louder that energy becomes. And the more you embrace who you are, the louder that energy becomes. But with that power comes responsibility. You can't move like everyone else. You can't go where everyone else goes. You can't entertain every invitation, every connection, every spirit that shows up smiling. Because some aren't drawn to your light for healing. They're drawn to your light because they feed off it. Energy vampires don't always show fangs. Sometimes they show up as friends, as lovers, as family. But when you pay attention to your spirit, not your emotions, not their words, your aura will tell you the truth. You'll feel drained instead of restored, confused instead of clear, uneasy instead of aligned. That's not your overthinking. That's your spiritual alarm sounding off. Your aura is intelligent. It senses what your conscious mind hasn't caught up to yet. So when your body tightens, when your peace is disrupted, when your energy shifts, listen. You don't need evidence. You are the evidence. The aura you carry is a gift, but it must be guarded, not with fear, but with wisdom. Because as you ascend, as your frequency rises, not everyone will rise with you. And that's okay. Elevation requires separation. And separation doesn't mean hate, it means honor. You honor your calling by refusing to settle. You honor your gift by refusing to be around energy that poisons it. You honor your aura by not throwing your pearls to swine, by not offering your essence to those who mock what they don't understand. Chosen one, you are sacred territory. And the enemy knows that. That's why the attacks increased when your glow started to rise. That's why you were hit hardest right before your breakthrough. That's why the people closest to you shifted when you began to awaken. Because spiritual warfare doesn't always show up as demons with horns. It shows up as relationships that drain your soul, as opportunities that seem right but feel wrong, as distractions dressed in desire. But your aura exposes all of it. You are too anointed to pretend you don't feel what you feel. You're too awakened to walk blind again, and you're too chosen to sit at tables that insult your spirit. That's why God is calling you to trust your glow now, to stand firm in it, to walk boldly in your knowing. No more second guessing. No more giving energy to what's already been revealed. When your spirit says no, it means no. When your peace disappears, that's all the clarity you need. Because you didn't come this far to be spiritually manipulated. You came to break cycles. You came to expose lies. You came to set the captives free. And the first captive was you. But now that you're free, your aura is dangerous. To systems, to illusions, to spirits that rely on people staying asleep. That's why the moment you rise, warfare follows. But don't let that make you afraid. Let it confirm who you are. Because only the powerful get targeted. Only the chosen get tested like this. Only those with divine missions attract this kind of resistance. But here's the truth. The resistance is proof of the revelation you carry. You didn't walk through all that fire for nothing. You didn't survive those betrayals just to live a normal life. You didn't cry those sacred tears just to settle for surface-level anything. You were built for this. Your aura was forged through fire. Your spirit was sharpened through suffering. Your mind was reborn through revelation. And now, you don't even have to speak. Spirits know who you are. They feel it. They tremble when you enter. Because you're not just light. You're authority. And not worldly authority, but spiritual dominion. You carry heaven in your frequency. You carry truth in your tone. You carry power in your silence. And when you walk into a room, every spirit takes notice. Some bow, some flee, some attack, but none ignore. Because your aura is active. And the moment you realize that, everything changes. No more shrinking to protect their comfort. No more explaining what only the spirit can reveal. No more pretending not to notice what your soul already knows. From now on, you move like the vessel you are.